Hello and welcome back. I am Mikey Trujillo, and we are here with the Emmy and Annie award-winning writer, Zeb Wells.
That's
Zeb,
right.
How are you?
I'm doing great. What a con. It's wild out there.
It is a little bit. So you are writing Dark Web, which is going to be an exciting crossover. But before you got to that point in your life, what was your Marvel origin story? How did you come to work here?
To work for Marvel?
Yeah.
Well, there was a magazine called Wizard Magazine when I was growing up. I'm sure you remember. And they had a short film contest. And I had a friend that looked like the Incredible Hulk. So we painted him green and made a video about the Incredible Hulk. Marvel saw that video. And the next thing, I was painting houses one week. And then the next week, I was writing Tangled Web of SpiderMan.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was wild.
Was that the moment you were waiting for? As soon as they said, you have the job, you're like, this is it?
I had been reading comics my entire life. You know, most people say they stopped reading when they discovered girls. I did not. I just kept reading. I just never stopped all through college. So, just such a huge fan. It was a big opportunity.
That's awesome. So with Dark Web, it's between Spider-Man and the X-Men.
Yep.
How did this come to be?
Well, we had Ben Reilly, who is a clone of Spider-Man, and he became a villain. And I started noticing that he had a lot in common with the X-Men villain, Madeline Pryor. So we bring those two villains together. They get up to no good, and that brings Spider-Man and the X-Men together.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like an organic team-up.
No, it's cool. We're all very excited to see what lies ahead.
Yeah.
And it's very different. Or what is the difference between Dark Web and then your current run for The Amazing Spider-Man? Because I just started reading it on Marvel Unlimited, and it reads so, congratulations.
Thank you.
It reads so well. I am hooked. Your voice for Tombstone, plus the art by John Romita Jr. is fantastic.
It's so fun working with him.
There's the one panel, I don't want to spoil it, but when a certain plot point is revealed and Spider-Man realizes it, and it's a full page, his back is to, and like the posture, and I was like, I don't know how we got here, but it's like pure magic between your writing and his artwork, and it really just took me back, and I just stared at it for a moment of, like, I get chills just thinking about it. So
he draws those moments so well where he has to capture an emotion. I just love drawing the soap opera high drama for him. And then the artist I'm working with here are Adam Kubert and Ed McGuinness. So it's got a different flavor, you know. Like I like to write for the artist that's going to draw them. So this is a little more bombastic. Like it's a big crossover, a lot of characters, a lot of wild stuff. So it's one of those stories where you just try to get as crazy as possible and see what happens.
Yeah. And then what is your writing process? Can you dive into that, of what inspires you? Is there a certain message? Because going back to episode 7 of Marvel Studios' She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which you wrote, which is amazing. You have these incredible characters all come together for counseling, their little therapy session. But then there's a moment where She-Hulk, Jen Walters, she gets to really show some internal emotions and character development. And it's like, did you know that's where you wanted to head, or does it just come organically?
Yeah, we wanted to get there, and I thought that I wanted to show a fun superhero therapy scene. But, you know, I'm in therapy. Like, I think therapy is a good thing. And I wanted it to, like, 100%. Sort of organically, like, get to a good place, show it helping people. Like, actually show those people connecting and send her off in a better place than she came in. And it feels like people are picking up on that. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And I think, you know, like, you just have these I'm just such a fan. Because you have these moments with Peter in The Amazing Spider-Man where he's just put through the ringer more than we've ever seen before. And I'm wondering, like, how did he get here? But every time I'm just rooting. I don't know if I've rooted so much for Peter ever in my life before between your series. And so if you could just elaborate on putting him through the ringer and what that means to inspire people, that he's still carrying on and choosing to do the right thing.
I think that you don't really know what's at the core of your character until you're put in a hard situation. And that's, I think in my life, that like the hardest things I've gone through, you look back and you're like, oh, I learned a lot about myself. I grew. And so I just think the best stories are about, like, well, let's throw as much at him as possible and see what happens, see how he perseveres, and see how much strength he has at his core.
Yeah, that's so great. And so, real quick, can you tease about Kamala's role in this series coming up? You don't have to spoil anything.
I won't spoil anything. She's so much fun to write, and I love her and Peter together, because I think there's a lot of symmetry between those two characters. But she will play a big part in Dark Web, and then we have big plans for her in the second year of Amazing Spider-Man.
Awesome. I can't wait. I know the fans at home, they can't wait. Thank you so much for joining us. Your work, like I said, is incredible.
Thanks, Mike.
And we hope you enjoy the rest of your con.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.